Another question from Jonas in South Africa, actually, which I think I've had a few of these questions come in very similar, and I understand the sensitivity of these questions, because if you're the CEO and you're reporting on let's say a decline in revenues, what does that signal? Well, Jonas's question is, if you get rid of, I don't know, 25% of your customer base that are unprofitable, then your revenue is going to fall off a cliff. And that's a very difficult thing to swallow, and it's a very difficult thing to report on. Well, it very much depends on your board. Now, if you're backed by private equity, they'll get it, because for them it's about earnings quality, unlocking the value. It's about margin quality, and it's about consistent earnings quality. If you're working for a board, or working with a board that are vanity focused, where it's all about market share, it's all about believing the dashboard, it's about, judging that the health of the business is the amount of growth, then that's more tricky. But let me tell you this: how do markets value a business? Well, it's earnings consistency and earnings quality. And whilst you might be seeing a drop in revenue, and sometimes not, but it might be when you apply the velocity lens, you get rid of 10, 15, 20% of drag on your business. These are customers that are not paying their way, and they're hurting the profitability of the customers that are paying their way. And they're also consuming your best people and consuming a disproportionate amount of overheads and resources, which is a clue, because you can retrim and refocus the business on the customers that are paying. But nevertheless, it is a tricky conversation. So what you have to do to start with is you have to get the board used to the cash conversion velocity, and you have to introduce the measures and the metrics to show the benefit of, any cost reduction program delivers temporary relief, and it's the normal knee-jerk reaction, and we know the problem. Sorry, I've got flies on me, it's hot. The knee-jerk reaction is to look for performance improvement through cost reduction, but that then tends to cut into muscle that you need later, sales muscle. But when you get, and there's a number of tables and charts, and we've done the analysis, and as painful as it is, revenue is a vanity measure, and it's not real. Profit, and if your stock options and the value of your business in terms of growing the intrinsic value of your business is the incentives are done correctly, then this should play to your strengths. But selling to the board a 20% fall in revenues and maybe a 30% increase in margins and profitability, and a massive improvement in resource burn, a large improvement in cash conversion speed, lowers cost of borrowing, improves cash flow, enables you to fund other growth projects that will plug that gap. So that's the angle which you have to come at this, is that these customers are a risk to your business. And if you're a CEO and you're ignoring that, that's not good. And if I was chairman and I was a non-exec, I'd call you out on it. So Johannes, it's a tough one, and I get it. But I think it's not a case of going to the board day one. You've got to show them all the indicators as you go along and take them on the journey. It's a 60, 90-day fix. The 90-day program at the back is worth a good read. Once you're armed with the data and the evidence, everything changes. Absolutely everything changes. And your board become believers because they can see the results. And if you're CEO, They will see somebody who's in control of all the operating levers of the business, but the levers that matter: customer profitability, cycle time of cash, a reliable forecast and pipeline, improving margins, reducing waste. And these are positive metrics and measures. So Johannes, that hopefully that helps, but maybe we'll take it offline. But I feel your question, because I've been there, and presenting a drop in revenue is, well, you don't present it that way. You present the upside, and yeah, talk soon.